we need to do is we need to go get some suspension for this BMW because it's trashed. Like, look at just how bad the shock tower is. Okay, so this is why we're replacing these coilovers. They're just, it literally cracked all the way through. You can see where it's almost pushing this out of the car. Like, that's not safe. So we're definitely going to replace these. And then hopefully we won't have that problem again. Yeah, that bad. It was totally screwed. So we need to get some suspension. And I think I have an idea. So let's go on Amazon and see some high quality coilover kits that we can get for this car and make this thing pretty damn legit. Let's do it. Alright, well, first step, obviously, I guess we're gonna have to go and check out Amazon. So what do you think we should find? Alright, let's see, let's try this. Coilovers for a E36, huh? Yeah, sure, let's see what we got. Alright, so it looks like those are 400, 200, 250. Oh, now those have got to be legit. 189? Man, you can't beat that. Alright guys, so I know you guys probably think I'm nuts, but I mean 189 seems like a really awesome deal, so I figure how bad could it be?
How bad could it be?
So I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. There we go. What the hell? That was really, really fast. I don't understand why it was doing that. That's crazy.
Did you order something?
I just ordered it like 5 seconds ago.
What did you get, Polly?
What in the hell? What? How does this happen? Tony, what's up? What is the deal with this? All right, I guess we got to bring this in.
Come on, Tony.
Tony,
where are you going?
Tony, where are you going, buddy? You running away?
Tony, come on.
Tony, hey.
Tony, come on.
Come on, we got parts. We got to get the parts in. Come on. Help us get the parts. Oh. Oh my goodness. That was incredibly fast. How does that happen?
Amazon Prime, bro.
That's how it is.
Amazon Prime.
Let's go get a knife and open this thing. So I guess what we're doing today is putting coilovers on the BMW. Who would have thought? Wasn't planning on it, but then again,
Although the weather we might need to beat the weather.
the weather might definitely be a problem because that looks like storm for sure. But I don't know.
Should be fun.
Here
Thank
we
you, sir.
go. I wonder what kind of quality these things are gonna be. I'm really wondering because
Going on with this packaging.
based off the fact that BC coils are $1,000 and these were only $189. I mean, these have to be excellent, right?
Oh, dude.
Dude, what does that say? What does that say?
Our favorite friends over at
MaxPeeding
MaxPeeding
Rods. So evidently these guys make some pretty badass coilovers.
I'm surprised. They're
Holy crap.
actually kind of heavy.
They actually have weight to them?
Yeah, feel it. They're not just like super light.
I mean, as long as you lift weight, you can probably curl this. It's like, you
Probably like
curl that.
a good. That's probably about 20 pounds, maybe
Not
15.
I mean, they actually package this pretty nice. There's the coils. Or little,
Oh, what are these? The
coils.
top hats?
I think it's an adjuster, maybe? I don't know. That's a whole bunch of random stuff that we don't know about.
Some assembly required.
I guess
here's what it's
so.
supposed to look like.
Oh my gosh, they gave us instructions. What's the instructions say? What
Look at
does it
where it's
say?
from. Look at its address. Quality.
Hang on.
Everything
Wow, look at
quality
that.
comes from China, and we
China.
all know that.
It's gonna be the best part ever. So do you think we could get this on before the storm hits?
Yeah.
I don't know. Oh look, here's the struts.
Well, these go in the rear, right? The strut
Yep.
and the spring.
All I can say is that even though these are a really cheap coilover, they're gonna be way better than what we currently have.
So, we did not beat the rain.
The rain beat us. That's for sure. But that's okay. We're just gonna wait and see if it dies out. Otherwise, we'll just have to put it off till tomorrow. I hope not, because we only have 2 days to the next event, and we still gotta put suspension on that sucker. Alright guys, so we got back and basically the thing's totally screwed up. It rained all last night. I tried working on this thing the other day. It got really late and I couldn't run my power tools, so I was like, well, if I can't do that, then I'm gonna have to just wait and then do it the next day. Well, it's the next day, and guess what? It's also the drift event day, which means that we are completely out of time. I gotta do the entire suspension on this car, and hopefully it'll be ready to go. So anyway, yeah, so let's go get this thing started. Let's get this thing knocked out. I just need to get this thing on the ground and have it work. I don't give a shit if these are shitty coils. I just wanna drive. So let's do it. Okay guys, so when you're down here, you got these, there's 2 bolts down here. You got these 2 here and the one that runs through here that attach to the back of this. It's really not that difficult to get to. These are 18s. So 18 millimeter for these. You're gonna need 2 wrenches here to get this part off. But this back one was kind of a pain in the butt, but what I found is if you get the other wheel up, you can turn this. So if you take this, once you have it all attached, you can actually turn this because it's up in the air, and you can gain access to what you're trying to get to. And that makes it a hell of a lot easier. So now that we got the bottom part done, and then what we did is we just popped these brake lines off of here. Ours look to be kind of cracked, so we might be replacing these soon. And then now we just gotta get the top ones off. So that's what we're gonna do next. So now we just gotta get these 3 bolts off, and this whole thing should drop down. But now you can kind of see how it's not poking up anymore like what it was? It's because now there's no tension on it. So that thing was going. Alright. There we go.
Brake line off.
Okay, so normally you'd have a jack stand to hold this up, but I'm just improvising here. Okay guys, so I made a mistake by buying cheap coilovers, and here's why. So this perch right here is cracked, okay? And this was like the whole reason we were replacing it. I mean, this is a good chunk of the reason was right here. The problem is this. These coilovers come in the box and there's no perch. So there's no place to put it. They expect you to reuse your stock ones, which would be okay if our stock ones were okay, but they're not. And I can't find any in town. So that's a problem. This is just how it goes sometimes. For us, it seems pretty often, but we had a good win last time, so it's okay. I'm not gonna complain too much here. So guys, it's another day, and we're still not done. And we're gonna finish getting these things on there. So basically guys, these coilovers, the #1 thing that I gotta say, don't get the cheapest ones because they're missing their tops. There's no mount for it, and they expect you to reuse all your old mounts. Problem is, my old mounts were busted, so it was kind of pointless, so I had to go order some more. It's supposed to be coming in today. Hopefully it gets here, so I'm gonna start with the rear and work my way to the front, so that way we can finish this out, hopefully. So then what we gotta do is we gotta make sure that these things fit on here right, and we'll see just how it comes out. So let me show you what the car looks like now, and then we'll see what it looks like afterwards and see just how either good or terrible these coilovers are. I'm not expecting too much for $200, but at the same time, spending $200 versus you know, $1,500 is a big difference. So let's see. Alright guys, so we're gonna start in the rear and just get these lowers taken care of. Once we get done with the rear, then we'll move to the front, hopefully if we get our piece in time. So I'm gonna get these back ones and we'll go from there. So first, pop off your wheel. If your wheel's stuck on there like mine, here's what you gotta do to get it off. And voila, that's the trick. Cool, so now we can get in here and get a good look of what's actually going on, and well, minus the wasp nests and the really blown out shocks, or struts I should say. I think those are the original ones. Holy shit, we'll see when we get them out. So we'll pop these springs out, we'll pop this off. There's 2 bolts up in the trunk, so we'll take care of that. This should come off pretty easily. Just one little bolt right down there, and then we'll go do the ones up top and pull the strut out, then we'll work on the spring. Okay guys, so I know it's kind of a mess, but what you gotta do is you gotta peel all your carpets back, and it's located up in here. You're gonna have your little spring perch. If you look on there, you got these 2 little bolts. You got one here and one on the other side. We'll just pop those suckers out, and that should be able to just pop right through. These are 13s, by the way. Kind of a pain in the ass to get to, but it could be totally worse. So yeah, just be prepared to be in some really weird positions because it's kind of a pain in the dick. But anyway, I'm gonna get this out and move on to the next step. All right, got it. Okay guys, so I want to show you real quick. This is the old shock, right? It's so bad, I push it down and it doesn't come back up. That's how dead this shock is. This is what a good shock should do. Now, this is, mind you, eBay quality. It's a little bit more difficult to push down, but it goes back up. That's what it should be doing. This is what mine was doing. So this is part of the reason why our suspension was so shitty. Also, it appears to be the OEM. Yeah, this is the OEM shock. So, but here's the problem with these shocks. The thing that they don't tell you is that when you buy the really dirt cheap ones, it doesn't come with any tops. So I have to take the top from my old shock and put it on this shock. Kind of shitty that they do that, and it kind of screwed me because I didn't know that. And so I ended up missing a drift event because of it. So, yeah, but anyway, we're gonna get these things put on here and move on to the next step. So let's do it. So guys, this top nut, it is a 16 mil, and I have it in the vise because there's just no way I'm gonna get this out without it. My impact's charging, so we're just gonna do this. So all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take my vise grips, and my vise grips are gonna hold this top piece, keep it from spinning, and then the bottom piece I'm gonna do with the wrench. So it's just gonna go like that, just like this, just nice and easy. And eventually this is just gonna pop off. So it's awesome. Oh, there we go. Now the rest is pretty straightforward. Now this pops right off. Justice. And we just gotta transfer the pieces from this to the new one. By junk. Hello, new junk. I've always got junk. If I could just remember which way I had this. Alright guys, so we're gonna take the bottom piece, it goes on here like this, nice and easy. Take the top piece, slap that all on there, good to go. And we're just gonna put our nut, and then we're just gonna tighten this thing up. Ooh, this is a different size nut. Alright, so now all I'm doing is I'm just tightening this nut all the way on. We'll figure out the torque settings. I think we're just gonna go with the good old Guten type method. And we'll get this sucker on there. I'll be right back. And that, my friends, is how you put the top on. Okay guys, so we had a total pain in the ass trying to get these springs out. And so what we found is take a crowbar, breaker bar, whatever you want to call it, put it up between the spring perch and this piece here. And basically, I'm gonna pull this, and Tyler here is gonna help get that thing out by grabbing it and just yanking it. So be careful here. Ours is not under tension. If yours is, just be careful and don't hurt yourself. All right, ready? Yep.
Down?
Yep.
Yep.
Hey, there we go.
That was a lot easier.
Way, way easier. Woohoo!
Oh
Shit.
my lord, look at that.
Yeah, we have pickers galore here.
Look
Got
at
a big
that.
old pile of them just from sitting on the dirt here. Not good. Okay guys, so this is what you want to do. You wedge a crowbar in between this piece here and this knuckle, and that's what you use to help kind of pry down. Or you can stand on it or whatever. I just found this worked really well. Just careful not to bend your dust shield, because I did that on the other one. Okay guys, so here's a comparison of the two. You can see how the one on the right is the new one. Slightly smaller, tighter, stiffer, all that good jazz. We're just gonna pop it in there, make it as tight as we possibly can. So we're gonna take this sucker here, and we're just gonna tighten it all the way down, because we just wanna slam this bitch, because why not?
So nut is not an 18 millimeter.
Oh, it's not? So take the one with the hole that goes all the way through, and that one goes up on this top one with the flat edge. Pretty easy. And then the one that looks like a butt plug goes on the bottom. If that makes sense, right? We just pop that in the butt. So there we have it. Got the spring in there. It's tightened all the way up. So this should be an interesting ride, hopefully. So now we're just lifting it up slightly so we can get the lower bolt on that shock on there, or strut, and then we'll go on to the next. All right, let's see just how low this thing can go. I don't know if it's gonna be super low or if it's gonna be slightly low or not low at all. Oh my God, dude, it's so stiff. It's so stiff back here. There's like, that's it.
Yeah, you're not bottoming out either.
Yeah,
Oh my God.
that's pretty stiff.
Straight to the ass.
But it's not bottoming out or anything. So using an impact makes this like 10 million times easier. But here's a little tip. So when you're doing this, jack up both sides in the front, because in the front, it's gonna make it way easier to get to these bolts in the back, because now I can turn this and I have access to those bolts. So yeah, it's just a little tip. Alright guys, so here's a comparison between the old and the new. That's the old piece of junk, hunk of junker. And that's the new junky China part. So they're still kind of both junk, but this one's, it's okay. So we got the new part in. I'm gonna put the pillow top on, show you guys how to do that real quick, and then we'll move on. Alright guys, so first thing, we're gonna take this and we're just gonna take the top off. Mine doesn't have any tension on the spring, luckily, so it makes it a little easy to get this off. So we can pop this down, but what we gotta do is, we gotta lower this collar so that way we can get the top on. So all I'm gonna do here, just loosen this thing all the way down. We're just gonna loosen it, loosen it, loosen it. And then we're just gonna get this tightened down enough to where, this is gonna make it to where we can get the top on, because otherwise it just doesn't happen. It's a pain in the dick. We don't like pains in the dicks. That's not fun. Nobody wants that. Okay, so now we got enough room, so we got a little bit of thread up here, which is what we want. Then what you do, take your nice big old camber plate. You got one of these little suckers in there. It's got a lipped end, okay, that goes towards the top. It's gonna drop that in there. Just pop it in there. Now that we got that in there, all we're gonna do is take our pillow top, set it right up there, nice and easy. And then we're just gonna squeeze down and basically just run the nut on top of there. So I'm just gonna take my nut, there we go. Just do that, and then I'm gonna take a Torx head in there, or an Allen head, hold that, and then use a wrench to tighten it. So what do you think? You think it's gonna be slammed?
Yeah.
Pretty bad. Okay, so now we got this on here. You can see you got everything nice and tight. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna adjust the camber, but I'm using reinforcement plates. They're ones that you get from BMW. I think they're from a Z3. It's supposed to help with the strut towers. I don't know. Someone just told me that's what we're supposed to do, so I figured, well, for 30 bucks, why not? So I'm gonna put those on. Yeah, it's real cheap. So they just look like this little disc thing. See, that's your part number right there. So if you ever want to look it up, that's what it is. It's actually from BMW, and it just basically sits over top of here. But you can see it interferes with the camber adjustment. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna get it adjusted basically where we can inside of here, and we should be good. Okay, so we got just about as much camber as we're gonna get out of this sucker. Got the plate on there, so now all we gotta do is go mount this up in the car. Pretty straightforward, pretty easy. And then we should get this thing back on the ground and see what it looks like. Let's go do it. Okay, so we got this sucker back on there. We put the little lines off on the side here. So it's all good to go. So now we're just gonna put the wheel back on, drop this sucker, make sure you get your height adjusted the same on both sides. I'm gonna tighten this one up a little bit, and then should be good. All right guys, well we got it on here, but here's a problem. See how the wheel spins? You hear that? It's literally rubbing on the shock. So it looks like we're gonna need some wheel spacers if I'm ever gonna wanna drive this thing, because this is unsprung and it's rubbing really, really bad. So that's too bad. Let's at least get it on the ground, see what it looks like, and we'll park this bad boy. I won't be able to tell you what it rides like just yet, but you can at least get an idea what it's gonna look like. That's something. So let's do it. Okay guys, so here's an example of just how close this thing is to the wheel and why it's rubbing. Look, it gets stuck on the weight. That weight is there just to, like, okay, I can't even move the wheel now. That's literally rubbing up against the coilover, so that's a problem. So we need a wheel spacer for sure. So we're gonna have to go get one of those. Here we go. Holy shit. What the fuck? It's still going. Wow. You are a finger. So it's not touching though? No. It's not touching.
I mean, look at that. It's not touching, but I mean...
It is... It's on the ground. Like, it is buried. Look at that. Jesus Christ. I can't even, like, there is like a finger gap behind the tire and the fender well. That's like too low.
That's a hell of flex.
That's a problem. And then if we pull this out, it's even going to be even worse. So yeah, we're gonna have to figure out a way to lift these, but for right now, we gotta go get spacers. Damn. So here's the after. let's talk wheel spacers. You ready to see just how simple this is? Literally, you take this, that's it.